Welcome back as we continue to flip the script and recognize some of the things that work in our society as opposed to dwelling on those that don't. On this day, I am grateful for living in a society which seeks to deliver a solid measure of justice and accountability, albeit too often imperfectly and too often in a delayed fashion. Nevertheless, call me gullible, but I believe the adage, you may beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride, actually applies to people in our American society who do harm to others. Eventually in our nation, you are held accountable. Those who killed George Floyd, accountable. Those who contributed to the death of Vanessa Guillen, accountable. Harvey Weinstein, held accountable. Mass marketers of opioids, held accountable. Panel, sometimes justice delayed really isn't justice denied. I'm going to throw that to you, Charles Blaine.
You're right, it is. And I think that a lot of these examples that we can point to really does show the system working. I will say that I hope the system works a little more. I think we can point to a lot of these examples because it doesn't happen all the time. And so we really do need to see the system work more, and for everybody up and down the system. We see lower income folks getting the swift hand of justice, but we don't often see it for another class of folks in public officials and everybody else. And so very glad to see it working in these instances. And I'm optimistic that it will keep working and work better.
All right, Jackie, should this be a source of gratitude?
Definitely. And I guess you can call me gullible as well. It's the Caribbean in me. I definitely believe that justice prevails. That's why most of us who migrated to this country, we believe in the justice system. We believe in the American dream. And yes, I'm a strong supporter of law enforcement, because if we don't support our police officers, our police women and men, the women and men who fight every day to make sure that we're safe, then what is the system for? So I do know that, yes, we do have some flaws, of course, we're all humans, but it's important that we as a community unite, support one another, and that includes supporting our law enforcement. So yes, call me gullible as well, Greg.
Chal, you wanted to chime in.
Well, I just have to send a shout out to Natalie Kawam and the family of Vanessa Guillen. If you haven't seen the I Am Vanessa Guillen documentary on Netflix, you have to, especially in this community. I had a chance to watch the private viewing, brought me to tears. But what I wanted to say is, when you raise your voices, no matter what socioeconomic background you're in, voices matter in this country. And Vanessa's sisters, Myra and Lupe, along with Natalie, spawned a movement that changed the way people in the military respond to sexual assault allegations and harassment. And that really changes policy. So bravo to them, and bravo to raising their voices and spawning a movement.
Yeah, Tony, am I looking through the world through rose-colored glasses? I really think the bad guys eventually get theirs, gets what's coming to them. In this country, anyway.
Well, let's put it in context. Within our lifetime, General Pinochet in Chile was rounding up writers, intellectuals, disappearing people. And I think he was going after Pablo Neruda, poets, etc. I think it is powerful that in this country, I do not take these blessings for granted. Here we are. I get to exercise my freedom of speech as the Chicano activist committee organizer. We want a more perfect union, which is what the contract says. And additionally, you've got representatives like Cristina Morales, who just reintroduced a bill to make African-American history and Mexican-American history count towards graduation high school requirements. All that is fantastic. And I want to make one thing clear, Greg. Even though your panel, half of your panel is always wrong, half your panelists are always wrong. I love the discourse. I love to talk. I love to get better ideas. And really, at the end of the day, I think we're all here to make sure that we all tell our story, we all have a voice, and we all can pursue the American dream and make it a reality.